On January 4, 2012, someone uploaded a single image to 4chan. Black background, white text, no logo, no name, no return address. Just 11 words that would shatter the internet's sense of what a puzzle could be. We are looking for highly intelligent individuals. Most people scrolled past it, but a handful of strangers did something different. They opened the image in a text editor. And hidden inside the raw code, buried past the last pixel, they found a message from a Roman emperor, a cipher used by generals 2,000 years ago, and a trail that would lead them from anonymous forums to the dark web, from encrypted phone lines to lampposts in 14 cities across 5 continents. Nobody knows who created it. Not the FBI, not the CIA, not the thousands of hackers, cryptographers, and linguists who spent years trying to solve it. To this day, over 50 pages of a handwritten runic manuscript remain unbroken. This is not an internet prank. This is not a game. This is Cicada 3301, and it might be the most elaborate mystery ever designed. The image was exactly 509 by 503 pixels, both prime numbers. That wasn't a coincidence. Nothing about Cicada ever was. The first solvers cracked the text editor message within hours. It read, Tiberius Claudius Caesar, followed by a string of gibberish. The name Caesar was the hint. A Caesar cipher, one of the oldest encryption methods in history, with a shift of 4. The decoded string spelled out a URL, and that URL led to a picture of a duck, a wooden duck, with text that said, "Whoops, just decoys this way. Looks like you can't guess how to get the message out." Most people would have quit, but the real solvers noticed something. 2 words, guess and out. Together they pointed to OutGuess, a steganography tool used to hide data inside image files. When they ran OutGuess on the original 4chan image, not the duck, the original, a second message materialized. A book code, a link to a secret Reddit page. The rabbit hole cracked wide open. What followed was a chain of puzzles that would take an entire month to unravel. The Reddit page contained scrambled text that required a Vigenère cipher keyed to Mayan numerals hidden in the page header. That decoded into a passage from the Mabinogion, a collection of medieval Welsh legends. Applying the book code to that passage produced a phone number in Texas. When solvers dialed it, a cold robotic voice told them to find 3 prime numbers tied to the image. Multiply the image dimensions, 509 times 503, by the number 3,301, and you got 845,145,127. Type that into a browser as a URL, and you landed on a website displaying a cicada and a countdown timer. The clock was ticking. Something was about to happen, and absolutely nobody was ready for what came next. When the countdown hit 0 on January 9th, the website didn't reveal another cipher. It revealed 14 GPS coordinates, real places, real streets, in 5 different countries: Warsaw, Poland, Paris, France, Seoul, South Korea, Sydney, Australia, Seattle, Miami, Honolulu, New Orleans. Solvers walked out of their homes, followed the coordinates to lonely streetlights and telephone poles, and there, taped to the metal, they found white paper posters. Each one bore a hand-stenciled cicada emblem and a QR code. Think about what this means. Someone or some organization had people on the ground in 14 locations across 5 continents, all planting posters simultaneously. This wasn't a bored programmer in a basement. This was coordinated. This was funded. This was terrifying. The QR codes led to images with hidden PGP-signed messages, 2 different book ciphers. One referenced the Encyclopedia Britannica, 11th edition, the article on Cicada. The other pointed to Agrippa, a poem by William Gibson that was originally distributed on self-encrypting floppy disks, designed to be read exactly once before destroying itself. Both ciphers decoded to the same Tor hidden service address, a site on the dark web. The first solvers to arrive found a congratulations message and a place to leave their email. But then the door slammed shut. A final line appeared on screen. "We want the best, not the followers." Among those who made it through was Marcus Warner, a 15-year-old homeschooled kid from rural Virginia. No car, no formal training. He'd found the puzzle 3 days after it was posted, assembled a team of 10 strangers on IRC, and spent weeks glued to his screen. His mother later said she got tired of him not showing up for meals because he'd passed out from exhaustion. He was 15, and he'd just beaten a test that stumped professional cryptographers around the world. You'd think the story ends there. It doesn't. In fact, it was only beginning. Exactly 1 year later, January 4th, 2013, another image appeared. Hello again. Our search for intelligent individuals now continues. This time, the puzzles made the first round look like a warm-up. A book cipher referenced Aleister Crowley's Book of the Law. That led to a 130-megabyte bootable Linux operating system, a custom OS built entirely by Cicada. Nicknamed Cicada OS. Inside it was a sequence of prime numbers and an original guitar composition called the Instar Emergence, credited simply to 3301. When solvers ran a hex dump on the MP3 file, they found a poem hidden in the binary data. It spoke of shedding one's circumference and finding divinity within. The 2013 round also introduced something called the Gematria Primus, a custom alphabet of 29 runes based on Anglo-Saxon Futhorc, where each symbol maps to a prime number between 2 and 109. This runic system would become the key to everything that followed. Then came January 2014, round 3, the hardest yet. A dormant Twitter account suddenly posted an image. It led to a Tor site displaying 4 paintings by William Blake. Hidden in the data was an RSA encrypted message with a 432-bit public key. The global solver community pooled computing power across hundreds of machines. And brute force factored the key in 17 hours. Behind it lay 6 successive Tor hidden services, each more complex than the last. One required constructing magic squares that summed to 3,301. Another contained a second original music track and a painting by Goya with a superimposed hidden image of Grigory Rasputin. But the real endgame, the thing that changed everything, was what appeared at the very end of the chain. They called it Liber Primus, Latin for the first book, 75 pages, written entirely in the Gematria Primus runic alphabet, illustrated with intricate drawings of trees, cicadas, and abstract patterns. Released through Tor Hidden Services in 2014 and accompanied by a single PGP-signed message. Let the text guide you. Good luck, 3301. In over a decade of effort, the global solver community has managed to decode approximately 17 pages. 17 out of 75. The solved portions used combinations of Vigenère ciphers, Atbash cipher, and Gematria substitution. And what they revealed was not what anyone expected. The opening passage reads, "Believe nothing from this book except what you know to be true. Test the knowledge. Find your truth. Experience your death." Another section welcomes the reader as a pilgrim on a journey toward the end of all things, promising that along the way they will discover an end to self. This wasn't a recruitment brochure, it was a philosophical manifesto. It described 3 forms of what it called the loss of divinity: consumption, preservation, and adherence. It warned against dogma. We follow dogma so that we can belong and be right. There is nothing to be right about. To belong is death. And then this instruction: amass great wealth. Never become attached to what you own. Be prepared to destroy all that you own. The remaining 56 pages? Completely unbroken. Each section appears to use a different encryption key. Word boundaries are absent. Some solutions may require information that was shared only privately with winners of earlier rounds, information the public has never seen. To this day, over 10,000 people remain active on the Cicada Solvers Discord. They hold weekly voice sessions. They've tried AI. They've tried quantum computing approaches. Nothing has worked. As one verified winner put it, the Liber Primus may never have been intended to be fully solved by the public. So, who built all of this? 3 theories dominate, and only one holds up under scrutiny. Theory 1, a government intelligence agency, the NSA, the CIA, GCHQ. And it's true that Britain's GCHQ ran similar puzzle-based recruitment campaigns. The U.S. Navy even created a Cicada-inspired challenge called Project Architeuthis in 2014. But when Rolling Stone asked Ron Patrick, head of CIA recruitment, directly, he answered without hesitation, "It's definitely not us." And here's the detail that kills this theory. The winners were asked to work as unpaid volunteers. No intelligence agency in the world recruits that way. Theory 2, a secret society or cult. Cicada referenced Aleister Crowley. The Liber Primus reads like scripture. An anonymous warning posted in 2013 described the group as a left-hand path religion disguised as a progressive scientific organization. But Cicada addressed this themselves. "We have also been called a cult, but we do not meet any of the definitions of a cult." And the book's own opening line, "Believe nothing except what you know to be true," is the most anti-dogmatic sentence you can write. Theory 3, and the one with the most evidence, a cypherpunk collective. The Cypherpunk Manifesto of 1993 declared that privacy is necessary for an open society. Cicada's own leaked email to winners echoed this nearly word for word. Tyranny and oppression must end. Censorship is wrong. Privacy is an inalienable right. Every tool they used, PGP, Tor, Outguess, came from cypherpunk circles, and winners were asked to build exactly the kind of software cypherpunks dream about. A dead man's switch for whistleblowers and a system called CAKES, the Cicada Anonymous Key Escrow System. Marcus Warner himself confirmed it. He said 3301 had been started by a small group of friends who shared the same values: anonymity, privacy, encryption, and wanted to pool their talents to build tools for digital liberty. But the project collapsed. The group had recruited brilliant individuals, not team players. As one report put it, they ended up not with a team, but with a group of strong personalities who couldn't collaborate. Eventually, the volunteers drifted away. They were, after all, unpaid developers working on someone else's dream. Cicada 3301's last verified message came on April 4, 2017. A single PGP signed line on Pastebin. "Beware false paths. Always verify PGP signature from 7A3509-0F3301. No new puzzle appeared the following January, or the one after that, or the one after that. For years now, silence. But here's what makes this story impossible to let go. A cicada, the insect, spends up to 17 years underground in total darkness. It doesn't move, doesn't surface, shows no sign of life. And then, without warning, it emerges. Millions of them, all at once, a deafening chorus that fills the sky. Maybe they're not gone. Maybe they're just underground. 56 pages of the Liber Primus remain encrypted. The runes sit there in the dark, staring back at anyone who dares to look. And somewhere in those pages may be an answer to a question nobody has thought to ask yet. Cicada's own words promised it. The path lies empty. Epiphany seeks the devoted. The question is, are you devoted enough? If this story kept you up at night, subscribe. We go deep into the mysteries that the rest of the internet only scratches the surface of. Hit the bell so you don't miss what comes next. And if you think you can crack those 56 pages, the Liber Primus is still out there. 3301 is still watching.